Put simply, the Transportation Performance Index is built on a rigorous, quantitative, and scientific approach. It is the first, now this is important, if you've been resting or eating, listen. It is the first in a series of 4 studies will do. Others will follow for energy, broadband, and water. When completed, each index will be updated on an annual basis, so there's no getting away. We tell you in one year what the problem is, and next year you've either done something to make it better or it's getting worse. And we will push this publicly in every way we can. How do we develop this index? We interviewed a wide range of stakeholders, conducted workshops, and met with many of our key members. Using a well-respected group of experts, we've developed a way to measure transportation infrastructure performance nationwide and in each of the 50 states. We measured across all modes of passenger and freight transportation, highway, public transportation, freight railroads, aviation, marine, and intermodal, to show how well the U.S. transportation system is serving the needs of business and the overall U.S. economy. We used 21 indicators that fell into 3 big buckets. The first was supply. The availability of infrastructure is a key consideration for businesses when deciding where to locate their facilities. The second was the quality of service. Is the infrastructure reliable? Does it provide predictable and on-time service? And is it safe? Third was utilization. Can current assets sustain current demand and future growth? This is a key consideration for companies like FedEx. They took 20 years into the future. They looked 20 years into the future to create informed decisions on where they're going to spend their money, where they're going to locate their facilities, and where they're going to put the people. We're very pleased to have Bill here today. He's president of FedEx with us, and I'm grateful for their sponsorship. And by the way, we sort of had a quick lunch together. I learned 3 things. I'm not going to tell you what they are because I have to kill you. But I learned 3 things just in a short conversation. These guys really know their business and really know the market. At the conclusion of my remarks, in just a minute, Bill is going to explain how the performance of our transportation infrastructure and its systems impacts his company. Our index goes back to 1990. We didn't start with today. We went back to 1990 and extends forward to 2008 because that's the last year for which we have national level data. Don't worry about it. I'll talk louder than this. Now, what did we find? We found that the performance of the nation's transportation system is not keeping pace with the rate of growth of the demands on that system. It is not meeting the needs of businesses, of the community, and of consumers. And in a world of increasingly savvy and aggressive competitors, our infrastructure is going nowhere, stuck in neutral, while others race quickly ahead. In short, the system's not getting the job done. We've been approaching the wall for some time on transportation infrastructure. Now we're going to hit it head on. We are going to crash into it and hard when the economy starts to really pick up. What did the numbers show us? From 1990 to 2008, the Transportation Performance Index did increase about 6% overall. That's exciting. But let me give you the other numbers. The U.S. population grew 22%. Passenger travel grew 39%. And freight grew 27%. 6%, average of 30-some%. I don't think we're keeping up. Given these huge increases in population growth, passenger miles traveled, and tonnage of freight moved, it's a testimony to the American ingenuity of our transportation companies that the index is not worse. However, the overall trend in the last 5 years is decidedly negative. Future projections are grim. If we pursue business as usual, for the next 5 years, the index will fall by 8 or more points. We found that every 1 point increase, listen to this, wake up again, that we found that every 1 point increase in the index results in a 0.3% increase in GDP, or $42 billion. By the way, if you drop 8, multiply times 42, I mean, you're talking about a lot of money. So an 8-point drop is, and I'll tell you what the money is, $336 billion in lost economic growth. But it doesn't have to be this way. We also extrapolated a future in which higher investment levels were targeted at improving performance and saw precisely the opposite picture, the potential to add substantially to GDP, and to employment. In looking at the states, which was I found particularly interesting, we found that if the nation as a whole had performance that matched the top 5 states in the country, we could add another $1 trillion to the GDP. Now, by the way, that was a trillion with a T. We also established that the performance of transportation infrastructure is key to attracting foreign direct investment, which created about 300,000 jobs here in 2008.